Hello there. I'm John. I have assembled an alternator for my home. Come, we will check how it works. Yay! It supplies power to the lamp. Let me turn on the refrigerator. Yes, my alternator can power up the refrigerator. But wait. Have you noticed the light dimming when I turn on the refrigerator? Let us see what happens when we switch on the sump motor. The alternator supplies the power, but the light dims further. When I turn off the motor, the lamp becomes bright. You would have come across the same scenario in your daily life. Are you curious to know why it happens? It is because of the particular phenomenon of the alternator called armature reaction. This video will help you to understand what is armature reaction. State the key factors that affect the nature of armature reaction. Let us consider an alternator which is having field poles at the stator side, and armature at the rotor side. It is running at no load. At this condition, the field poles are excited with the battery supply. So the magnetic field flux exists inside the alternator. We will call it the main field flux. It induced an EMF in the armature conductor. This EMF can circulate the current only when you connect an electrical load to the alternator. Let us connect a lamp to the alternator. Now, the EMF circulates current through the electric load and the armature conductor. This current sets up magnetic flux lines around the armature conductor. These flux lines are called armature flux. Now, two sets of magnetic flux lines are in the alternator. See the directions of the flux lines. On the left side, the armature flux direction is opposite to the direction of the main field flux, and on the right side, both are in the same direction. In the top and bottom sides of the conductor, the armature and main field flux are perpendicular to each other. Hence, the armature flux may affect the magnitude and flux pattern of the main field. This effect is called the armature reaction. So, we can define the armature reaction as the effect of armature flux on the main field flux, affecting the magnitude and the distribution of the main field flux. If we increase the load connected to the alternator, the current through the armature conductor will increase. Since the current is directly proportional to the flux lines, this increase in current will increase the number of flux lines around the armature conductor. The increased armature flux will increase the armature reaction effect. If the load connected to the alternator is resistive, the armature reaction will not change the magnitude of the main field flux. But it will change the flux pattern. Hence, there is no change in the magnitude of induced EMF. If the load connected to the alternator is capacitive, the armature reaction will increase the magnitude of the main field flux. As a result, the magnitude of induced EMF increases. If the load connected to the alternator is inductive, the armature reaction will reduce the magnitude of the main field flux. This reduction in main field flux will reduce the magnitude of induced EMF in the armature conductor. Since the refrigerator consists of a compressor, it is an inductive load. When we turn it on, it reduces the induced EMF, which is the operating voltage of the lamp. As a result, the lamp dims. Are you wondering how the nature of armature reaction differs concerning the nature of load? Watch our subsequent videos to get a clear understanding. We have come to the end of this video. In this video, we learn that the effect of armature flux on the main field flux, affecting the magnitude and the distribution of the main field flux, is called armature reaction. The nature of the armature reaction not only depends on the magnitude of the armature current, but also on the nature of the load connected to the alternator.